It's Luke and Naomi.
Good evening, and for today's episode, I'll say, in case I don't see you later, good afternoon, good evening again, and good night.
Perfect.
How about that?
Very fitting.
Truman Show review on episode 47. That's going to be a good one. It was such a better watch than What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Yeah.
That was just super rough. Thank you to anybody who sat through that, by the way, the review of What's Eating Gilbert Grape. If you sat through the movie again, that's kind of what I'm thanking you for, but obviously
if you sat through the review too, you get a thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Thank you for that, of course. We had some fun, though, despite What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Brian from England wrote in and said he remembers trying to watch What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
You get credit for trying.
He gave up halfway through it.
I understand.
Yeah, that's good on us.
Yeah.
Just kudos to us for doing that. Better one this week. The Truman Show, that was a lot of fun to watch. I hadn't seen that in a while, to the point where Naomi at one point asked me, like, have you seen this before?
Yeah, because you were asking questions through the movie, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Don't you know this?
I hadn't realized how much of that I didn't remember, which is, the fun of doing these movies, too. There's a ton of stuff that I hadn't seen in a while that I get to rewatch, which is fantastic. So, cool review of The Truman Show coming up in a little bit. Speaking of Brian in England, we had asked him another question last week. We had asked him the week before about the coronation and what they did, and he mentioned that they had coronation chicken.
Yeah.
I pictured like a roasted bird for coronation chicken.
Yeah, me too.
So coronation chicken is more like, I don't know how to describe it other than maybe like a chicken salad.
Okay.
Sort of. So he sent a link to Wikipedia description. A chicken in a spiced mayonnaise sauce, eaten as a salad or like a sandwich filling.
Chicken salad.
Chicken salad.
Yeah.
It was created in 1953 by a food writer, apparently. Normally bright yellow, it's usually flavored with curry powder or curry paste, though some recipes call for fresh herbs and spices and other stuff, flaked almonds, raisins, and creme fraiche.
I'm here for it. I like chicken salad, so I'm sure it was very tasty.
And then he sent a link to coronation chicken pie.
Okay,
which,
so it would be like chicken salad pot pie?
Kind of. Can you see this over here?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little picture, so I don't know if you can see that on the screen. So that looks like it's topped with like sliced almonds, but I ran through the ingredients list, and it's almost as if they just took everything that was in the cupboards and threw it in, a la Homer Simpson.
Yeah, but that's sometimes how you find the best foods. So I'm still here for it.
All right, let me read through this list. Ingredients: chicken, of course, turmeric, ginger, cumin seeds, korma curry paste. So I guess just curry paste. I don't know if that's a special kind or something like that. Coconut milk, spinach, dried mango chopped into chunks, raisins, puff pastry, of course, that's what it's in. You throw an egg in there, black onion seeds, a small bunch of coriander, and some mango chutney to serve along the side. For the dressing, Greek yogurt mixed with curry powder and lemon.
I'm here for it. It sounds great, yeah.
I don't know. That's a lot of things.
The only thing that I was like, maybe not, is black onion seeds, because I don't know what the heck that is. And I'm not a fan of onions, but I don't know. With everything else in there, I probably wouldn't be able to taste whatever the heck those are. So I think I'll be fine.
I don't like cooked spinach. You know that.
No, you don't. No.
So that's that. The rest of it, though, honestly, does sound pretty good.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
So, all right, coronation chicken and then coronation pie. Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Thank you, Brian, for putting up with our American ignorance.
That's right. That's basically what it is.
Pretty much, right? But between that and the joke books that he sends us, he keeps us in material, pretty much, right?
That's right.
Cool weekend. We watched a whole bunch of Marvel.
We watched so many movies. That was like the most movies I've watched in a long time.
It was, right? And new movies as well, right?
Yeah.
So Friday night we watched the newest Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
We did, yes.
That was pretty cool.
It was pretty good. I felt like they tried too hard for some of the jokes and stuff. Like, Marvel has really gotten into that, like, kind of goofy one-liner little moments. And for the most times, it's funny or it's just cute. But that, I felt like it just, there was some misses with that.
Yeah, I mean, and Ant-Man was one of the funnier ones, originally, and I miss Michael Pena too, his buddy Luis.
Yeah. Yep.
The dude who just rambles and stuff.
Yes.
I miss that guy. And who's the other one with him? It was like T.I. was with him as well, the rapper.
Yeah.
But despite that, I get what you're saying.
I still liked it. Yeah, it was still a good movie.
The first two had their funny, and all that. So it looks like it was like they were reaching. I also feel like they had to kind of cover for the insanity that they were throwing at you.
Probably, because there was a lot of craziness. I feel like somebody who does a lot of drugs would have loved that movie.
Yeah, she actually said that in the theaters too.
And it was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm sober and this is freaking me out a little bit.
Not theaters. We didn't see that one in theaters.
We
but
did
yeah,
not.
you said that after we watched it too. So I could see that for sure. There was a hell of a lot of colors.
Yes, and oozing and dripping colors and stuff. You would think someone put something in your drink or something. I don't know.
It was definitely crazy.
Yeah.
The whole flying the ship with the goo.
Jello arms.
Yeah. That was
I wasn't here for that.
definitely weird.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas, if you ever want to see him be as goofy as I think he's ever been.
It's that movie.
Yeah. For sure. So anyway, yeah, I still liked it overall. It was pretty cool. They had the whole MODOK thing, which they did the MODOK cartoon on Hulu, which is still there. You can watch it if you want to. I believe Patton Oswalt was the voice of MODOK, and so the idea was it's MODOK at home with a wife and kids. And
That's weird.
Very weird, right?
Yeah.
And then they threw him into Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Which I did not like. That was just creepy.
A lot of
did
people.
Not like big face, weird little arms and legs. Like, no, not here for that.
I love
that was just disturbing.
Just now noticing the baby legs. I don't have baby legs. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
Kind of do.
And again, the face was just like exaggerated, and like I get the idea behind that. Like you've been messing around with basically time and space. Like things are gonna get messed up, but no, so gross.
Yeah.
Just so disturbing.
Crazy. So that was a good watch Friday night. Then Saturday night to prepare for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that we watched in theaters on Sunday. I threw on Guardians 2 and then watched the beginning of Thor: Love and Thunder, where they are in as well, just so we could get to, get all caught up on the doings of the Guardians. And that was really, really good. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I did like it a lot, yeah.
A lot of fun. We don't want to talk too much about it. No spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. But super, super fun. It was hilarious. It was very heartwarming at times. It was a great send-off for the Guardians because they're not going to make any more of those movies.
And heartbreaking at times.
Yeah. Visually very cool, too.
Yeah.
The special effects for that was awesome.
Oh, yeah. They really did outdo themselves with the special effects.
Yeah, and James Gunn's last, if you care about all the comic book stuff, his last outing with Marvel, because he's gone over and taken over the movie division of DC.
Which should make him a traitor, shouldn't it?
Oh, no, it's all done with all on the up and up. The guy who runs the Marvel movie division, Kevin Feige, and him worked closely together, Guardians of the Galaxy, and the whole Infinity Saga and all of that.
I know, but it just seems weird if you think about it.
He went with Kevin's blessing, and honestly, I'm here for that. Do that. Take all of his ideas and make DC good too, because I want to see good Superman and Batman and Green Lantern and all of it.
I'm here for the old Batmans.
You want more Aquaman, don't you?
Yeah, I do. If we're going to be honest here. Took me a second. I'm like, Aquaman. Oh, that guy.
Aquaman. Yeah.
You mean Jason Momoa.
That's all I got to say to get her.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Let's go to the movies. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Aquaman 2 coming soon.
I haven't seen the first one.
We did.
We did?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Was it that bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great. It's okay.
Oh, yeah. We did see the first one. Oh, man. I must have blocked that out of my memory.
Still like Jason Momoa. I still like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I do. Oh, that was a rough movie. What were they thinking?
They got a second one coming.
All right.
They're thinking, give us your money.
Yeah, probably.
Luke's wife's going to go.
Speaking of giving us your money and all of that kind of stuff, that movie theater was the most packed of a movie theater I've been in since, I think, Endgame.
Yeah, probably, right?
Yeah. Like the first Endgame, I think.
That would be Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here, dead silence. Hang on a minute while I figure this out.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that was the last time I was in a movie theater that packed. Like, we got there, 15 minutes before the movie started?
Yeah.
And we got, not the last 2 seats open, but the last couple of 2-seat groups that were open.
There wasn't many options for double seats.
I watched a group of 4 walk up the steps and realize they couldn't go anywhere, and then just basically looking down every single aisle and having to go all the way to the front row. And I'm like, oh, dude, that sucks.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that's how packed
As
it was
we were
in there.
going up the stairs, I turned around behind us to see, what the lay of the land is. You could see a little bit more as you're going up. And it was like, oh no, we better get. And thankfully, lady moved over. There was another set, right? Wasn't there another set of 2 in the back row? But lady moved over right near the aisle, and then we got in the back row.
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was very nice of them.
Yeah, it was.
I'm getting a whole bunch of text messages. I hate when my phone goes off during this, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's on vibrate, but it just distracts the hell out of me.
I know. Ooh, it lit up. What's going on?
Wah, wah, all of that.
It needs me.
So, did you like the packed theater?
To an extent. I like the packed theater because I like when you hear everybody laughing during the funny moments, everybody getting real quiet during the sad moments, and everybody's crying a little bit and they're trying to hide it and all that. I could have done with maybe a quarter less of how packed it was, if I'm being honest, but I won't be picky about it. I don't really like the empty theater where it's you and 3 other couples.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah. So I think I'd rather have the packed theater for that.
Yeah.
Plus, we didn't have to deal with any craziness. There wasn't a lot of movement. There wasn't crying kids or people running around. Everyone was invested in the movie. I couldn't see lights from people's phones.
Oh yeah.
Which I have seen in the past, and I'm like, dude, just watch the freaking movie. You're distracting me. Nothing like that.
Yeah, it was really cool, and being such a good movie too, that kind of held everybody's attention as well.
Well, yeah, that helps.
But I was thinking about that. Probably Endgame was the most packed theater, but then every movie we've seen since, we go 4 weeks after it's been released to theaters, so we usually do end up with a lighter crowd.
And we usually go on weekdays.
Yeah,
we usually
happens
go
a lot.
after work. This was the first time we went Sunday during the day.
Yeah, 3:00 Sunday is everybody can make it then.
Yes, absolutely. So it was packed. And I thought about that too, and I'm like, do I want to keep going on weekends or weekdays? And I could not make that decision.
I don't mind a 7:00. You know what I mean? It's you probably home by a little after 10 at the latest.
I don't mind it. I just, again, I like having the group of everybody laughing.
Yeah.
And I like the I don't even know what you'd call it. We're all on the same page because we're watching it together.
The camaraderie.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. As we were walking in, I was like, oh man, we might not get seats. And then at the same time, I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
To watch this with all these people. It's a good call. I like that.
Yeah, it's sharing the experience with, a whole bunch of strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Marvel movies are great for that stuff, too.
Oh, yeah,
really cool.
absolutely.
So that was definitely a pretty good weekend, packed full of movies and popcorn and kind of doing nothing otherwise, right?
Yeah,
lots of popcorn. Had to work a little bit on Saturday, but
nothing major.
That's it. So something else I saw over the last couple of days was, I was talking about just absolutely not having interest in TikTok. The stuff that at least comes through my feed is just terrible.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to pay $1,000 for you to watch TikTok.
Still won't get me to do it.
So they're offering to pay 3 people $100 an hour to watch TikTok. It's a one-off, so it's not like this is going to be a thing, a career or whatever.
Yeah. You can't get paid for life doing this.
But could you watch TikTok for 10 straight hours?
10 straight hours?
And collect $1,000?
I want to say yes, because I'll get lost on those stupid Facebook videos for like a half hour and go, what am I doing with my life? But I'm pretty sure by hour 3, I'll be like, no, really, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm pretty sure I killed off almost all my brain cells. I gotta go.
I mean, even if you're getting paid $100 an hour?
I don't know. I mean...
I'm not sure I could do it. I don't want to. This would literally be work for me. I would earn it. I do believe. I mean, I have sort of... when we were getting ready for the cruise, and it was our first cruise, I was looking at all those,
cruise
tips
videos
and tricks and all of that stuff. And even then, it was just like, this is terrible. It just didn't want to. So it would absolutely be like work to me. It's a company called Ubiquitous Influence. Ubiquitous... I think it's you or ubiquitous. I don't know how to pronounce it. Anyway, ubiquitousinfluence.com. They're going to pay 3 people $100 an hour to watch TikTok. One-time thing, not a full gig, but $1,000 each to go on a 10-hour binge. They say it's to help the company discover emerging new trends. But, I mean, it's them getting their name out there, too, because everybody's talking about it now.
Yeah, that's what it's for, honestly. Because if you, as a social experiment or whatever, put someone in a room, make them watch TikTok for 10 hours straight and ask them to, like, tell you about, like, the cool trends and things that they saw.
Would you remember?
They're going to look at you and go,
yeah.
I think I'm hungry.
I remember when I was a kid, nobody liked television. It'll melt your brain.
Yeah,
and now
absolutely.
Here I am going, no, TikTok will destroy your mind and all that. It's the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you can remember anything,
this might be the job for you. Yeah.
You have to fill out an application and describe why you're a good fit. You also have to subscribe to their YouTube channel for some reason because TikTok. I don't know. They say you can up your chances if you tag them in a tweet about why you're perfect for the gig as well. They're looking for someone who's over 18, already familiar with TikTok, and has an eye for trends. I don't know how to prove that.
You can't.
The deadline to apply, May 31st. So you still got some time if you're listening to this before Memorial Day weekend.
I guess, but it sounds like a waste of time. And also, it's just for them to get more people to subscribe to their YouTube channel and tag them in things and like their page and all that stuff.
It's actually genius. I got to remember that next time, doing any kind of consulting or working social media for anybody else or anything like that. It's like, hey, give me $3,000. I'll get you a whole bunch of followers real quick.
That's
right. Real quick.
Hey, do this really quick. I'll pay you $100, but you just have to do everything. You got to like our page and all that. But you also got to realize how many people are going to like that page and then unlike it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just saying.
Yeah, that's a good, especially they didn't hire me. I'm not following them anymore.
Heck yeah. You know how many times I do stuff like that? I entered a contest. They made me like their page and then I don't win. So I unlike the page. I don't care what you're doing anymore. I was trying to win a contest.
Point.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Ubiquitousinfluence.com.
If you're that interested.
If you want me to spell it for you, just send me a message. I'll shoot you the link.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, hey, honestly, I really thought you were going to be like, hey, I'll do that.
No, I am not melting my brain with TikTok.
10 hours of TikTok, not worth $1,000 for you.
No.
Is there a price? A reasonable price?
I would probably do it for like a little bit more than that, like $5,000 or $10,000. If I knew for sure I was going to do it and didn't have to like fill out an application and do all the rest of that stuff, if they're like, hey, I'll pay you $5,000 right now to watch 10 hours, I'd probably be like, okay.
If like somebody at the mall was signing people up, you'd do it. You have to find a mall where there was people first, but
yeah. Good luck with that one.
I don't know. There's people at the Wilmington Mall sometimes.
I guess.
But anyway, $5,000, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
$10,000 would be hard to turn down.
Yeah, $10,000 would definitely be hard to turn down. Like, I guess I can kill off the rest of my brain cells for that.
$6,700. Yes or no?
Because it's a weird number? No. I'm out.
Never mind. Let's see here. It's time for some random facts. Let's just plow right. I was going to say.
Yeah.
How about $6,900? Nailed it.
No.
Here's your weekly dose of Did You Know? I got some extra ones because some of these aren't random facts.
Okay.
But anyway, weekly dose of Did You Know time. Did you know Dolphins can put one side of their brain to sleep as they swim while the other side remains alert.
That's weird, but okay.
You never heard of that?
No.
Okay, they can. And they can switch, too, putting the other side to sleep when they want to and all of that. So it's like,
Imagine if we could do that so that you could stay up 24 hours. You just put half your brain to sleep.
I just picture somebody dragging half their body down this.
I thought, like half creative and half logic. So for, a couple hours, you would have no like creative thoughts and all that. And the other half, put it to sleep and then you won't have logical thoughts. You'd be more creative.
But apparently they're using, they have full function, but just, like half his storage or something. Yeah, it's backup.
I guess.
Insane. Yeah. Did you know the original title for Michael Jackson's hit Thriller? You ever heard this?
Heard what?
What the original title for Michael Jackson's hit Thriller was going to be?
No.
Midnight Man.
Okay.
That's weird. Did you know Johnny Rockets is named after Johnny Appleseed and the Oldsmobile Rocket 88?
That's stupid. I'm just being honest.
The founder felt those were the two things that embodied the classic Americana vibe he was going for.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did you know that the praying mantis is the only insect that can turn its head and look over its shoulder?
I did know they can turn their head like really far.
It's just weird to think of an insect turning around and looking at you like that.
Oh, I'm watching you,
Did you know Tim Burton did not direct The Nightmare Before Christmas?
No.
Yeah, he just produced it. The director was a guy named Henry Selick.
Okay.
And
I never paid that much attention.
Burton wrote it and produced it.
Did a whole bunch of stuff with it.
Pretty much controlled most of the production.
Yeah.
Somebody
else just got their name there.
There's like a cool behind the scenes making of thing on Netflix. I think it's still there. Check that out if you haven't seen it. Did you know human brains are predisposed towards distraction?
Yeah, I can see that.
The average brain wanders for an average of 47% of the day.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think with some people it wanders way more.
Most likely. Yes, yeah. It's like me. 90%. Did you know the sun makes up 99.9% of the mass of our solar system?
Didn't know that, but makes sense.
Yeah,
it's pretty big.
Planets, moons, asteroids, and comets make up the other 0.1%.
Yeah.
Crazy. Did you know the phrase hands down comes from horse racing?
I did not.
If a jockey was so far in the lead, he could drop his hands and loosen the reins. It meant he was winning hands down.
Okay.
Did you know the people behind the Baby Ruth candy bar claim that they were not named after the great Bambino, Babe Ruth?
Okay.
They say they were named after President Grover Cleveland's daughter, Ruth. But she died 17 years before the candy bar came out.
Okay.
Very
Weird.
random.
Yeah.
And finally, did you know the Mona Lisa was stolen from the Louvre in Paris in August of 1911 by an Italian guy named Vincenzo Peruggia? And it wasn't recovered until December of 1913, which actually helped make it the most famous painting in the world.
Interesting.
We probably would not be treating it the way that we do if it wasn't stolen for 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. It gave it value. Gave it more value.
A nutty way to look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that is your weekly dose of Did You Know? Some random facts just to get you through, Yeah. Just to hold you over.
Till next week?
Yes, till next week. It's important. If you're going to the zoo anytime soon, somebody just did a study of which animals like it when you visit.
Okay, I'm here for that.
And which animals don't like it when you visit. So you want the negative or positive first?
I would like the negative first, and I'm going to guess some of the big cats don't like it when you visit.
Let's see here. So that's.
I feel like you just look like a tasty treat.
They're not even on the list.
No?
Of the hated. Which animals hate us? Number 1, ostriches.
I feel like ostriches are just angry to begin with. They hate everything, so that doesn't really count.
So this study looked at more than 250 different species.
Okay.
And ostriches apparently did not like it when people were around. More animals like reptiles, certain reptiles, hedgehogs, and marsupials like kangaroos didn't like it, or didn't seem to like it when people were around. It's not like they could, fill out a form.
Right.
Researchers say try not to hold it against them, though. One point of the study was to see if different enclosures make them more comfortable. So some had better living conditions than others and all that stuff, which probably skewed the study. But the animals that liked it when you visit, the elephants, number one.
You're excited about that
I
one.
love elephants. They're awesome. So they're the ones that probably like seeing us the most. They were more active and seemed less bored when big groups of people were around.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
A few more penguins, cheetahs, they say enjoyed when
Really?
people were around. Cats.
They weren't getting hungry?
Cats are show-offs.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Prairie dogs, cockatoos,
Okay.
and grizzly and polar bears.
No.
That's-
Absolutely not.
That's what you're talking about might be hungry.
Yeah.
I like when all these people are around because I know I'm not going to starve for the
That's
winter
right. Yeah. Ugh, no.
Crazy, though. So that... I just had to because of the elephants.
I know.
Some zoo creatures. I looked deeper in and to see if there was any more, longer list that had red pandas on there for you.
I feel like the red pandas just don't care.
They don't care.
They're so happy in their own life and what they're doing. They're happy if you can go into the enclosure and bring them grapes and treats. I know they'll be happy about that, but...
They're too stupid to know what's going on anyway.
Stupid is such a harsh word.
They are, though. Red pandas are so dumb, it's great.
Doofuses.
All
That
right.
sounds better, I think.
Before we get to the answers for last week's question, name a TV character you would have saved from being killed off. I got one more thing. I'm going to read some movie quotes, and I want you to tell me first of all, if you have ever heard it before.
Okay.
And second, if you know what movie it is.
Okay.
And then when I tell you what movie it is, if you've ever seen that movie, I think we'll figure that out by the time we even get there, though. Are you ready?
Yeah. Okay.
AFI, the American Film Institute, just made a list of the 100 greatest movie quotes of all time. These are older movies, so I don't really expect you to get any of them.
All right.
Are you ready?
This is a stupid quiz. I don't like this.
The number 10 movie quote of all time.
Okay.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
I've heard it before.
All right, so you've heard it before, probably on TV forever. You have no clue.
No, I don't know who says that.
It's Taxi Driver, 1976.
Okay, yeah, there's no way.
No way. So you definitely haven't seen that.
No.
How about fasten your seatbelts? It's going to be a bumpy night.
A bumpy night?
That's what
Not
it
a
says
bumpy
here.
ride?
That's what I would think, right? It's from a 1950 movie. I've never heard of it either.
Oh, gosh, then no.
All About Eve, 1950.
No.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
How about this one? This is tough. Just give it some thought.
Okay.
I'll let you sit for a second. Are you ready?
Yeah.
May the Force be with you.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, it's New Hope, 1977. Number 8 of the greatest quotes of
I
all
wouldn't
time.
know which Star Wars movie it was, to be honest with you. But I know it came from Star Wars.
Yes. All right, this next one is a quote that is misquoted all the time, but you've probably heard this from Bugs Bunny at some point.
Okay.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever heard anything like that before?
It sounds slightly familiar.
A lot of people will
but
say, I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. Anyway, it's from
I don't
Sunset
know.
Boulevard in 1950.
I don't know who Mr. DeMille is.
Cecil B. DeMille. He was like one of the first great actors.
Oh, my bad.
Or
Yeah, no, I
directors,
don't
I'm
know
sorry.
him.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Oh, I do know that one. Isn't it like some guy named Harriet that says it?
Oh my God. Under a Rock Reviews is absolutely the perfect title because if we said it in a different way, it'd probably start to get mean.
Yeah.
Dirty Harry.
Oh, that's close.
Isn't it a guy named Harriet? Oh, we're writing a song.
I have heard that
A
before.
guy named Harriet to follow up to A Boy Named Sue.
That's right. That's right.
Dirty Harry, Sudden Impact, 1983.
Okay.
Dirty Harry, right, guys? Everybody, right? Dirty Harry. I think that's at least
Harriet.
That's at least who you're.
I want a half a point for that.
How about this one? I know you've heard this one. Number 5 of all time. It's very old, but still. Have you ever heard the movie quote? Here's looking at you, kid.
I have. Oh, gosh.
Can you?
What is this supposed to be? Casablanca?
Yes!
Casablanca?
Yes.
I wish there was a camera in our studio right now for everyone to know what just happened.
So
there.
we just recently started watching Modern Family rerun through. We've watched most of it, and the first season there's an episode of how Cameron and Mitchell meet, and they're doing charades, and it's they instantly liked each other because one guy did he was just putting both hands on a piano really quick, like bam.
Yeah.
And the other one immediately went Casablanca. So I'm trying to give it to Naomi by doing that motion, and she just couldn't keep it together from laughing. But that's what happened. That little behind the scenes there.
But I have not seen that movie either.
1942 Casablanca. It is on the list, but so is The Godfather. So,
We'll get to him.
we'll get to him.
Yeah.
That was number 5. Number 4, Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
The Wizard of Oz.
All right, you got one.
I got half a point earlier, and I got Star Wars, so I'm up at 2.5 right now.
The guy named Harriet.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This one you probably have never ever heard. Number 3 of the
I hope I have.
greatest movie quotes of all time.
Okay.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. Have you ever even heard that before? A lot
no,
of people
I haven't.
have
But
imitated
is it like one of the Rocky movies?
No. This is from On the Waterfront in 1954.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That's
there's
the
no way.
number 3 greatest movie quote of all time. The number 2 greatest movie quote of all time. I'm gonna make him an offer he couldn't refuse. Can't refuse. Damn it.
Is that The Godfather?
That is absolutely The Godfather.
Okay.
Yes.
That I've heard of, have not seen.
Have not seen. That's on the list. That's another sit. That's a
I'm here for
Gangs
it,
of
though.
New York length,
Yeah.
long. And finally, the number 1 greatest movie quote of all time. American Film Institute. Very,
Biased?
yeah,
Yeah.
but biased towards all the old stuff because, all of these, they're great, but are they the greatest of all time? I guess, because a lot of people, okay, you got Wizard of Oz.
Get to the number 1.
You
I
got
wanna
Star
know
Wars.
What it is.
You got Taxi Driver, of course. I don't know about On the Waterfront, the one being number 3.
Have you seen it?
No, but again, yes, it may have been a great movie for a long time, but at this point, it's got to have dropped down the list. That's all I'm trying to say.
You have to watch it and find out.
The number 1 greatest movie quote of all time, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Sound of Music. Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind. I've heard this before. It has something to do with
Picture somebody looking at Mary Poppins and going, frankly, my dear.
So it is Gone with the Wind then, right?
Yes.
Because it's supposed to be some big deal because he says damn.
Yes.
Right?
It was one of the first
Yes.
cusses in the movies and such.
Boom. That's 5 right answers.
All right. So I could even get down with that being on the list in the top 10. The number 1 greatest movie quotes of all time in 2023, a little bit different.
Yeah, but that, again, was a big deal because he said damn.
Totally.
You
So,
know? Of
there-
course that's going to be number 1.
That's the top 10.
All right.
And that also has given us a couple of movies to check out for our list as well.
That's right.
AFI.com if you want to see the complete list of the top 100 greatest movie quotes of all time.
That would be kind of interesting.
Oh, and by the way, new Peter Pan and Winnie the Pooh horror movies are on their way.
That's weird. I'm not here for that.
Yeah. I had that story opened up and never wrote it down on my list. So I just wanted to throw that in there. It's weird, not here for it. Meh.
No.
If you saw the trailer for the first Winnie the Pooh one. Jesus. All right. Last week we asked everybody what character from television they would have saved from being killed off.
That's right.
Got some pretty cool answers. And then we've got a list of some popular ones as well. So my old man wrote in and he texted me and agreed with me about Henry Blake from MASH. That is probably one of my bigger picks, I would have to say. Because again, they were writing him out of the show. They didn't have to kill the character and just destroy everybody in the United States. Like, everybody who was watching MASH was just crushed by that moment. So that's a super bummer. I didn't have a ton. I didn't really, Maud Flanders is just the first television character that I thought of that died. So that's just kind of where I went there. But I didn't really. I guess I don't care about Maud Flanders. How about that?
No. When it comes down to it, I mean, she didn't really bring anything to the show. Just saying.
And then, of course, we got a lot of drama shows and things like that'll have characters being gone. Have you thought of any?
Basically, 72% of the cast of Game of Thrones.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not including King Joffrey, because when he died, that was like awesome. So.
That's what we could do that next week. Which people did you like seeing get gone? From the TV
that
show?
was like, see ya, buddy.
So
let's rewind that and watch that again.
Brando was gonna say Ned Stark, but
yeah,
for some reason he didn't want to because I used Ned Stark as the graphic.
That's a great one, though.
Ned Stark was awesome. If you don't know Game of Thrones, it's been a long, long time, so it's not a spoiler. But, Ned Stark is like the main character in the first season.
Yeah.
The first season ends with them cutting his head off.
Yeah.
So it's a big surprise, huge shock to everybody. And it's a great answer, Brando. You could have gone with that. But he said, because you used that, I'll say Kanan from Star Wars Rebels series, if we're stuck to TV shows and not movies. He says, but if we have to include movies, he would say... blow up the Death Star before it kills everyone in the Rogue One movie.
Okay.
Because that is a really good movie, and those characters are pretty awesome. So, I can get down with that. But very Star Wars heavy there from Brando.
Of course.
And I haven't seen Star Wars Rebels either, but that's on me. It's been out for long enough. Let's see here. Snowman said, in case you were wondering, he got smacked for his dishwasher response last week for calling his wife the dishwasher.
Not surprised.
Then he said, not TV characters, but in the movies, I'd save Artax, which is spoiler for Naomi, because she hasn't seen Neverending Story yet, but it's coming up. And
wait, is that the horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already know that.
Yeah.
That's pretty big.
Doesn't it like die in quicksand or something? And that's supposed to make everybody, that's why everyone was afraid of quicksand.
See, here's the thing. You know that it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to make it any easier to go through.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm going to film that.
Okay.
So then I said to Snowman, you literally will do anything to not answer correctly because he didn't have a television answer. But, and if you go back, last week with the dishwasher, because I said don't use the significant other and all.
Yeah.
So I had to. But he said, I thought of one, Radar from MASH. That Radar never died.
I hope he didn't. I like him.
Anyway, I think that was because, he doesn't watch TV. So, Ralph says, 007 from Grey's Anatomy. He says, George, he was the best character when the show realized that they couldn't pay him enough, and after that episode, it got really boring. I really love that Ralph's just nonchalantly throwing out how much he loves Grey's Anatomy. Doesn't that one have your McDreamies and McSteamies, too?
Yes, that is Grey's Anatomy.
Which one of those is your favorite, Ralph? Just wondering.
Just curious. I watched Grey's Anatomy for a couple of seasons.
Did you?
Lost interest real fast.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it as soap opera-y as it sounds?
It got real soap opera-y, and I had to back away from that situation.
It was years and years and years and years and years before I realized that the main character's name was Grey. Had no clue.
Huh.
No clue. That's how far away from that show I've stayed.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
That and Friends, you just ain't touching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dallas and Paul both said Ragnar from Vikings, which is just a show that we've never seen. I believe that's a History Channel, Vikings.
Besides living under a rock for movies, I am under a rock for TV shows too. So a lot of this is just, I have no idea.
Yeah. Dallas said he quit watching for a little while after that character was killed, and Paul says he'd bring him back only because the show wasn't as good after that guy died.
Yeah, good reasoning.
What the hell are you doing, History Channel? What the hell? And Todd says Charlie Harper from 2.5 Men. He says many guys may have secretly wanted to be him, and he says Kutcher did okay. Ashton Kutcher replaced him on the show.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
After Charlie Sheen went crazy with the tiger blood and all that stuff. He says, but it wasn't the same. Spoiler alert, Charlie didn't really die. So he was brought back and died in the series finale.
Jeez, okay.
Roller coaster there.
Yeah.
So Pretty good. Let's see. Relika says Crowley from Supernatural, the most charismatic king of hell ever.
Interesting.
Yeah. Why should he be back? Smooth, funny, deliciously evil, but still somehow fair, witty. Great backstory that could be explored more. He's Scottish. Has a mother who's a sassy witch.
That's like the most thorough answer we've had.
Really, very thorough.
Yeah.
She says, P.S. Ned Stark's a complete moron and should have been killed multiple times.
What? I take back everything I said.
I don't know. I kind of agree with her because he's just so dumb. Like, everybody's trying to warn him throughout the whole season. Listen, don't do what you're trying to do. You're going to get yourself killed. And what happens?
He was trying to do the noble, righteous thing.
Yeah. And just, he could have done it different ways. He was offered different avenues to take and just absolutely was like, no, I'm doing it this way because I'm king
Because
of the
it
North.
was the right way.
So I'm kind of with her on that one. So
I am just blown away, flabbergasted by this backstabbing.
a whole new debate starting there.
I need moments to process this right now.
A list that I found of a lot of characters that people hate being killed off. From Bones, Dr. Lance Sweets.
Okay.
Episode still makes people cry, apparently. Glenn from The Walking Dead. Everybody loved Glenn. He was a great character and all that. A bunch of people think it was, unnecessary that they killed him off. They could have done other characters and things like that. And Oberyn Martell from Game of Thrones. You mentioned Game of Thrones right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Oberyn Martell.
That still haunts me.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
way that he is killed off, like, ugh, no.
Yeah.
I'm not here for it.
And for some reason now, Pedro Pascal. I was blanking on his name really quick. Pedro Pascal. He's like the hottest actor in the world right now.
Yeah.
Mandalorian and The Last of Us and all of that. But yeah, his character was really good. I could have watched him a lot more before. At least give him, 5 or 6 more episodes or something like that, because he was a hell of a lot of fun to watch. Let's see what else. Dean Winchester. Never watched the Winchesters myself. Never got into that. They did like 15 years of that show too. I can't believe it. And Opie from Sons of Anarchy. A lot of people definitely hated when Opie went down. That the way that they took him out was crazy. But
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
oh, you've never watched the Sons of Anarchy?
I watched like a little bit of it.
That would be I think one of those where I don't feel like the show was any good after right around then when they got rid of him. The first 4 seasons of that show were really good. And then, yeah, in my opinion, I know a lot of people liked it and watched it all the way through. But there we go, some pretty good mentions of TV characters that you bring back from the dead. We're gonna do a nice, easy, breezy summertime homework assignment for next week.
I like the way you presented that.
Yeah, nice and gentle, mellow, cool, laid back. Summertime themed homework assignment. I don't know what word I was looking for. Topic, homework assignment, all of that. We just want to know, what was your best summer vacation memory? What is your best summer vacation memory? Even if it was last year.
Tell us about your summer in an essay.
Yes, that's right.
That really sounds like homework now.
100 words or less.
I'm here for that part.
Yes. If I had a teacher who was offering up 100 words or less assignments,
I'd stay in that class.
I would have still not done them. But 100 words or less. No, I'm kidding. Tell us about your best, your favorite, the coolest, your most beloved summer vacation memory.
Yeah. Should be fun.
It could be from when you were a kid. Again, it could be last year, recently, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Tell us multiples. That's fine.
Story time. We're here for it.
Yeah, story time. Summer vacation story time. Looking forward to it. That is the homework for next week. And that brings us to it. Let's hit it to it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
It is time for Naomi's Under a Rock review of The Truman Show. Love The Truman Show. It has been a stupid long time since I've seen it. Like I said, forgot parts of it when we were watching it. Really excited to hear your review of this one. So when you are ready, ma'am.
All right. All right, so Truman Show. All right, he's always on TV. His life is the show, obviously. Cameras everywhere. So that's part of what I started watching throughout the movie is just, where are all the cameras?
It really makes you want to, too, right?
Yeah, so you notice, like, the camera, obviously, on the trash cans. They don't even try to hide those. But, like, he's in the office talking on the phone, and his ring is, like, huge. And I'm like, that's definitely a
I was
camera
wondering if
in
you
the
would notice
ring.
the ring or not.
Yeah. And then, of course, like, everyone's basically spying on him, his coworkers listening in on his conversations and all of that kind of stuff. So then we get to a point where he's, like, afraid of water. We notice he's, like, gotta get on the ferry or something like that and just totally freaks out. So I was waiting to figure out what that's all about.
Yeah, what's the deal with the fear of water?
Yeah. And then he's, you know, at another moment, he's talking with his buddy, his best friend, talking about getting out. You know, life is just being life. Getting out and going to Fiji one day. And all I can think about is, like, how you get into Fiji if you can't even get on the ferry? Like, you're going to get on a plane? I don't see that happening, you know? So then, right after that, we find out why he's afraid of water. Him and his dad took a small boat ride out, and the weather gets bad, and his dad ends up overboard. So, makes sense. It's a healthy fear. I'd be probably afraid of water, too.
Yeah,
so
right.
Can't fault him there.
Healthy and manufactured.
That's right. So, you know, the story moves along pretty quickly with what's going on. That's one of the things I really liked about the movie is it didn't really drag at all. It wasn't like, even when he's just talking to his friend about, oh, I got to get out, you know, I want to go to Fiji. Like, here we are. Fiji's on the other side of the world, all that. Whatever. They're just having those moments. Or when he's at work and stuff, it's just these little moments. But, like, you're looking for the setup, you know?
Yeah.
So
it keeps you looking around the whole time, so you're you're occupied, even if there's not some crazy action going on or something like that.
Exactly. You know? So then he's heading to work, and he runs into his dad that looks like some homeless guy. And then two people take his dad and throw him on a bus. And then all of a sudden, this fun run appears out of nowhere, gets in the way. How convenient. They're all wearing headphones. So, like, he can't even be like, excuse me, watch out, or anything. They all, I checked. Every single one of them had headphones on.
Checked, yes.
Yeah. So his dad is definitely alive. And they kept him dead because of the show. You know, the Truman Show. So then he's got the girl that he liked. You know, he's reminiscing. He's in the basement, and he's got that sweater, and, you know. He's reminiscing about the girl that he liked that they took away. And I had put in my notes, they probably couldn't control her because she wasn't an actor. So, you know, of course, he couldn't be with her. Anyway, so he's reminiscing. They run off to get pizza. They don't end up getting pizza.
I wonder if that's picking up or not. There's something keeps beeping. I don't know if it's upstairs or outside.
I was wondering if our, like, smoke detector was going off.
Oh, it's much louder than that.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Yeah. Whatever. I don't know. Sorry, I was so distracted by that. I just kind of lost everywhere where
your
I
brain
was.
wanders 47% of the time, if you remember our random facts of the day.
Yeah. And it's gone now. It wandered off and did not come back.
So Truman and the girl that he snuck away with, did they make it to the beach at the point in your
Yes.
notes?
Okay. So they make it to the beach. They're hanging out. She's basically telling him that, you know, we can't be together. You know, they're going to come for me, all this. Your life is a sham, basically. You know, she's explaining to him everything. But yeah, so they run off to the beach, whatever. She explains all that stuff. Sure enough, the car drives up, and the guy is, like, grabbing her to put her in the car, and, you know, that's our daughter. She's got psychotic episodes and all of that kind of stuff, which is obviously not true.
Crazy. The lengths that they go to keep him in that show, you know?
Which is insane. You know, when you think about it, like, that's a lot of work. But yeah, then we find out, you know, that's why he's ripping up the magazines. Because he always, when he stops and gets a newspaper or whatever, he gets the magazine for his wife, he says.
What did he get? Vanity Fair?
I don't know, something like that. But
I
he's
can't
always
remember what it was. But
ripping
yeah,
it up.
He said for the wife, yeah.
Yeah. And tries to, like make her face with pictures of like models' faces and stuff. It's kind of weird, kind of sweet, but kind of weird at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah. So then we find out why he wants to go to Fiji. Again, that was the whole thing with him and Lauren, aka Sylvia, is her real name. When they were hanging out at the beach and she told him everything and, everything about his life and all that, and they're going to be here any minute and all that. The car, when it pulls up and like puts her in the car, the guy that's pretending to be her dad says, that again, she's schizophrenic and she has episodes. And he says something about like, I'll see you at school tomorrow. And he's like, we're moving to Fiji. So, like that is the reason why he wants to go check out Fiji.
Yep.
Because
he thinks that she's there.
Yeah. And so she left her sweatshirt. Now he has it. And he keeps it locked up in the basement, which is, again, a little weird, but I don't know. There's a lot of weird things in this movie.
Knowing everything that's going on around him, probably good that he did keep it locked up, right?
Exactly. It would have disappeared on him. Someone would have took it, ran off with it. So he couldn't reminisce about all that. Creepy situation happens with the radio. Basically, he's hearing like the intercom behind the scenes as people are telling him where he is. Oh, like he's turning left on Lancaster and make sure the coffee's hot and all of that kind of stuff. And he's like, what the heck? I just turned on to Lancaster. Like, what's going on here? That's basically when we get to the point where like he absolutely knows that something is up. He has put the pieces together. Now he just has to basically get his proving it aha moment of all of it. So like he's acting like he's going into work. He goes through the little
revolving door
around and around and around, and then finally gets out. Then he tries to go into a different building and get on the elevator. And as he's in there, all these people are yelling on intercoms and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't stop him from seeing that there's, like, no back on the elevator. And then you see, like, a behind-the-scenes moment where, like, people are sitting in chairs and there's, like, food out and all of that kind of stuff. Something that you would think would be behind the set of a movie theater.
Yeah.
Or a movie set. So then he tells his friend about it, and his friend's just acting like he's being crazy about the whole situation. So we know that he knows that it's not real, but you can tell he's still trying to get to the bottom of everything.
So how about his wife after that is like, I have to go to the hospital. There was an elevator accident downtown.
Yeah, and trying to make it like some story. Like it was so messed up.
The
and then
newspapers, all who needs Europe anyway, with him talking about traveling and wanting to leave and all that stuff.
Absolutely. So he follows his wife to work, especially after she says all this kind of stuff. And she's supposed to be a nurse, and apparently she's supposed to be a nurse in surgery. That's probably one of the funniest, best scenes of the entire movie is from start to finish. Nobody knows what the heck that they're doing. So he's like peeking in through a window to watch them in the operating room. His wife is there. And the doctor is basically like, I'm going to make an incision above the knee. He's all shaky. You can tell he doesn't know what he's doing. And they're trying to, like, cover the blanket over where he's supposed to be cutting. At one point, they have, like, the mask on the girl for, like, anesthesia. And they, like, just let it fall off. And the one girl, like, puts it back and is just kind of looking around. And then somebody drops something. Patient, like, shoots up. Like, what was that? And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, she real asleep there. So that was probably one of my favorite parts. That was a great scene.
Yeah, it was.
So Truman goes home. His wife gets home. He's sitting in the car, and he's basically like, hey, come on in the car. And she's like, okay, what's going on? And he's like, I know exactly who's going to walk by. A guy with flowers, a girl on a bike, all of this. And then it happens, and he's like, see, I told you, why? They're going around the block, and they just come back. And she's basically just trying to change the subject. She's like, he's on to us, basically, at this point. So he starts driving around all crazy, scaring her. They conveniently get blocked by traffic. And Truman knows this, and he knows he's not supposed to be leaving the area and stuff like that. So he drives around in circles again, and then heads the same way that he just did. And of course, there's no traffic all of a sudden. How convenient, you know? They end up getting back to the house, and the wife was asking something, or he ends up asking the wife, you know, like, why are we even together? Like, you don't even like me, or you can't stand me, or whatever.
That's what he said. You can't stand me.
You can't stand me. And she basically blows him off and puts in an ad for hot cocoa mix. And he's like, who are you even talking to? It's just us. And she just keeps going about the hot cocoa, and it's from Colombia and all of this kind of stuff. But yeah, so that kitchen scene gets a little heated, you know, and he's like legit freaking her out, which I understand because it is a freaky situation. Because if you imagine this the other way around, like if you were an actor and this guy is finding out that his life is a sham and he's starting to unravel, you wouldn't want to be in the same room as this guy.
Yeah,
so understandably upset and scared. But at one point ends up asking something like, do something, or yelled out like, do something. And he's like, okay, so somebody else is here. Somebody is listening. Somebody knows. And of course they do. They send his buddy over and all of that kind of stuff. Who happens to run in at the right time and all of that. She runs to him, hugs him, and she says something about it being unprofessional. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, you can't work in these conditions.
How can somebody be expected to work in these conditions, she said. This is so unprofessional.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah. And then we cut to the actual showing of the Truman Show. And, like, the creator is doing an interview and explains some of the behind-the-scenes thing and basically tells us everything that, you know, as you're watching this movie, you'd go, like, well, how would they make that happen? And how come this? Like, any hole that you would try to poke into the movie, they had the interviewer explain it. And one of my favorite parts of that is when they're explaining, like, people trying to get in on the set. Yes. And they've got, like, the Christmas scene, or they got somebody jumping in, you know, Truman Show and all of that.
Truman, you're on TV.
Yeah, and it's just, that was well done to do it as, like, the interview. All right. So all of that is going on. Truman ends up escaping at this point. Pretty cool escape, too. So he had, him and his wife ended up breaking up, you know, getting a divorce. I don't know. They're just not together anymore. Yeah. So he supposedly moved into the basement, which you can tell he's, you know, plotting his escape and all of that kind of stuff. So what he ended up doing is supposedly moving into the basement, but he had one of the cameras, like, blocked by a box. So he had it look like he was laying in bed still, and had decorations under a blanket. You couldn't really see what's going on because there's this cardboard box mostly in the way. And he had, like, a little recording of him snoring. And they're not paying that close attention because, you know, it's late at night. He's sleeping for the next 8 hours. Who cares? Yeah. Come to find out, no, it's all set up. He's actually not there. And the creator of the show and everything realizes this. He's, like, you know, zooming on his chest and realizes, like, it's not going up and down. He's not breathing. That is not him. And they're able to see when he actually kind of steps away. You see, like, his foot and arm go by. And so they go and check out the area. They send his buddy.
With the six-pack.
With the six-pack of beer to go check out the area. He's turning on the lights, and he's like, I know you're in here, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. They can't find him. End up looking in the closet, and there's a ladder going upstairs to the yard where he's always mowing the grass ridiculously over that patch, which drove me nuts in one of the earlier scenes. It's like, does that guy not know how to mow his lawn? Because he's just going back and forth over a spot. It's like someone frantically vacuuming. Yeah. Like, that is not how you mow a lawn. It's not how you even vacuum either. That's
one of the
frantic.
First things she said about the movie, too.
Well, you know, I made it through, an hour and 15 minutes before he did that? Or an hour, at least, before he's frantically vacuuming his lawn with his lawnmower. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so that spot is basically where he had, you know, it patched so he could escape there. So we see the friend go up the ladder, peek out. There's cameras right there, and just basically saying, he's gone. And of course said that on TV, so now everybody knows. Oh, like he legit
Whoops.
ran off, you know. And then, of course, you know, they've got their technical difficulties that they've got and all of that kind of stuff. All right, so they're looking all over for him. You've got the whole town looking for you, which was just one of the most ridiculous scenes of the entire movie.
Really
it's just
odd, right?
Everyone just marching. You can hear them marching all over town, calling for him and all of this stuff. Have his dad call at one point, and it's like, dude, you supposedly died and was out of his life for how long? And you're going to be like, hey, son, I want to talk to you. Okay, that's going to go over real well. Like, that's messed up.
Weird.
Yeah, messed up on so many levels, you know. But anyways, everybody's looking for him, can't find him. We find him finally, and he's in a boat. Because, I mean, he doesn't need to be scared of water anymore because his dad didn't actually die being, like, thrown overboard or anything. So he did make a run for it, ended up in a boat trying to leave the island. They find him, and they're trying to figure out how to bring him back. And it doesn't sound good. At this point in the moment, I thought, they're going to capsize his ship. Somebody's going to come out and rescue him. So they didn't capsize his ship, but they did make a storm appear. So basically, same idea.
Did you think they were going to kill him?
Yes, I did. So the boat's about to go under. It does a little bit. You know, it starts getting really, really bad and crazy. And, you know, people are looking at the creator like, you really going to kill this guy live on TV? Like, are you insane right now?
Then he says that line. He was born on TV.
I know. And then it was just like, oh, man, he is going to kill him, isn't he? But he doesn't. He doesn't kill him. Spoiler alert, Truman doesn't die in this movie. Yeah, so that's not going to be the sad ending of the movie. So he doesn't die on TV and all that. They let the storm, you know. Wow. Sorry, like there is a lot of distractions right now between the smoke alarm or whatever was beeping, and then a plane just came in like so loud. Anyways, so Truman doesn't die on TV. So he ends up actually finding the end of the set. The boat actually like hits the edge of the set.
So weird.
Yeah. And then he's kind of like touching the wall and all of that. And it's just kind of like, you know, can you imagine being in that situation? The guy's like 30 years old and is finding out that his entire life is a lie.
Yikes.
But also, did he ever watch TV? Like, does he understand?
Yeah, they showed him watching I Love Lucy and all that stuff.
So, you know, it's got to be really weird.
Yeah.
You know? So he basically gets the option to stay or leave. The creator comes on and is basically having a conversation with him about like, hey, you can go out that door, you know. He walked up the stairs to the door that says exit, and he leaves. And that's it. And then we have so many questions that we don't get answered.
Okay.
And I'm bummed about it.
What questions?
Well, like, first of all, once you leave and see a crowd of like 50,000 people plus,
I mean, there would have to be.
Watching you? Yes. Because anybody watching the show would be like, oh my gosh, he's leaving. I know where that door is. And they'd be waiting for you out there.
Well, they might not necessarily know where that door is because that dome was supposedly huge.
But you'd have people all over that dome, everywhere, just being like, where is he? Where is he? You know, whatever. Then what happens? You know, does he find the girl that he, you know, loved on the beach for that one day? Sylvia,
whatever. That's right. Yeah.
Sylvia. Like, does he end up finding her? You don't know. She's just happy that he decided to leave. That's it. That's all you see is her watching TV and so happy that he decides that he's gonna, you know,
well, she runs out the door. That's the last you see of her is her leaving her place, running out the door.
Yeah.
Presumably to him.
I guess, but, you know, that wasn't answered for sure, you know. I don't know. There was a lot of questions, though. Like, how is he not suing the creator of this thing, you know?
A lot of that.
And how can you just end the movie as him just walking out the door?
Yeah, where's the sequel?
Where's the answers? Where you gotta wrap it up with a nice little bow, and they didn't.
Hard to answer those questions. That's, probably why. They're like, yeah, screw it. Let's just end it here.
I think that's what happened. They just ran out of ideas, and they're like, it's fine. The movie's long enough. Did we hit 2 hours? 1:49, close enough. Let's call it a day.
I did not expect your reaction to go there. Okay.
I was very bummed on how that movie ended. I liked the movie.
Understandably, too.
I did like that movie. I thought it was a unique idea, kind of cute. I liked how, again, they basically make it so you can't poke a whole bunch of holes in it, and then they just leave you hanging at the end. Like, oh, well, it's done. Movie's over.
That's right.
Get back to your life.
If you're watching on TV, if you're the guy in the bathtub, how about that?
I hated those scenes. Like, get out of the freaking tub. Like, it's gotta be so pruny.
Oh man! So is that the end of your notes?
I mean, yeah.
That's the end of your notes.
He leaves. The last thing on my note is he leaves, and then an angry face.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was wondering how you were going to handle that. So, all right. Well, thank you for watching Truman Show.
Thank you for listening to the review with all the distractions.
Yeah. So, review questions, of course. After all of that, you already said, did you like it?
Yes, I did.
What did you know about the Truman Show going in?
I knew the show I knew it was Jim Carrey, and I knew it's about like his whole life as a show.
Did you know any idea what the extent was, though?
No, I didn't know that they were gonna set it up and explain, or have like the creator doing the interview or anything like that. I just knew his whole life was a show.
Did you know that he didn't know?
No, I can't say that I knew that. But I mean, like, you find that out within like the first beginning part of everything.
Let's see. What were your thoughts going in?
That this would be better than What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Perfect. What surprised you about the Truman Show?
I don't know. I don't think there was anything that was very surprising about it. It's pretty straightforward.
All right. Would you have liked it more or less if you saw it when you were younger? Let's put this one at 16.
I don't know. I feel like I probably wouldn't like it more being younger.
Because of the ending?
Well, definitely because of the ending. But more of just, it's a story. There's not a lot of action. There's not a lot going on. There's not even a lot of dialogue in it. It's just a story. And I think younger me would be like, this is boring.
All right.
Why doesn't he just leave?
Now that you say
over
that,
his fear.
There really isn't a lot of very deep conversation.
No, there's nothing that jumps out and grabs you in
except
this entire
for
movie.
The interview maybe with Christoph.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
I definitely think one of my favorite parts was the interview scene.
Where you get that good behind the scenes, in-depth look. They explain a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, because I really wasn't expecting that, so I liked that. I like the little moments where we see crazy Jim Carrey, because that's always entertaining. Like when he's driving in circles really, really fast, and she's like, "You're scaring me," and all that, and he's just like, just does the goofy faces and
crazy
laughs.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I'm here for all that. I knew this wasn't like a Jim Carrey movie.
Right, it's not Dumb and Dumber or anything like that.
Yeah. So, like, I knew that. But to see those little moments of him, yeah, I'm here for it, of course.
What was your least favorite part?
The ending. The ending was terrible. That's one of the worst endings of a movie. Like, that is up there as bad. It left me with so many questions.
No closure for you.
Yeah, I need closure. Man. I don't know. He just walked away. Like, what happens after he walks away?
So you like those movies like Varsity Blues where it tells you what everybody went on to do at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. October Sky does that too, and they do it really well.
Animal
Speaking
House.
of that, we missed the whole, one of my favorite parts was when they mentioned The Truman Show.
That's right. Yes.
When they put the little graphic on the screen and was like, it's time for the Truman Show. I was like, heh, yeah.
That's so on the nose, though. It was hard to even notice, right? Would you recommend it to someone else who hasn't seen it?
Of course. You got to see this movie.
Would you watch it again?
Probably.
Would you stop if it's on TV?
It's possible. If I'm not in a hurry or anything. If I'm just channel surfing, sure.
And are you happy you watched it?
Of course, even with the terrible ending.
Even with as terrible endings go, though, it's not that bad.
It's not, but again, I need my closure, and I didn't have my closure, so it left me wanting more. So if that's what they were going for, they succeeded. I wanted more answers.
Well, what if they had gone, an hour longer and gotten into now Truman's, suing, and then the girl that he was chasing throughout the whole movie, things didn't really work out because,
Oh, it'd be so boring. It'd be so stupid. I get the point of leaving it open like that. It doesn't make it any better, though. I don't know.
What would you have liked to see?
I don't know. Like a
kiss? Would you have liked that if they found each other in the streets and embraced? Did you want the whole crowd of mess of people outside the dome?
I guess that, so he could actually see, the impact that he has had on so many people's lives.
That's a good idea.
But I'd also want to see, the reaction from him and, how are you going to handle the fact that your life has just been a sham?
So the nervous breakdown.
I don't want to put it that way because that sounds horrific.
Well, yeah.
But a moment of, just... I don't know. I feel like you could wrap it up in 10 minutes of him just trying to get to a normal life, maybe. I mean, Ant-Man does it all the time, trying to be a normal person after the Avengers and stuff. They could have done something like that. I'm just trying to be a regular guy
nice pull.
After all of that. I don't know.
So the whole idea...
I'm not a movie maker. That's why I don't do these things.
The whole idea of the ending is he decided to not be... the star anymore.
Yes.
So as soon as he steps through the door, you don't get to know.
I know, but I still want to know. I invested an hour and 49 minutes into this movie, and some people invested 30 years.
What do they say? Hour 10,000 or something like that?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a lot.
Would you watch a show like that if it was real?
I probably would, honestly, a little bit.
You'd almost have to, right?
You'd be kind of curious
what
somebody else is doing.
How could you not?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It was a good one. It was definitely a good follow-up. I was a little worried that this wasn't going to be as fun a follow-up to What's Eating Gilbert Grape, but almost anything would have been better than... Yeah. I mean, it's not like the worst movie ever. It has, I guess, some merits, Gilbert Grape does, but not for me.
No. We're going to make fun of that movie for a long time.
Until we come across another one that is just
blows.
Not the best. So that is a pretty solid Under a Rock review of The Truman Show.
With distractions.
With some distractions. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear that with the music we got going on.
It's just going to sound weird, probably.
Just know there was a whole bunch of beeps and then an airplane every time Naomi stopped and looked around.
But you can't tell that I'm looking around.
You can hear you looking around. That's how prominent it was.
But I hear airplanes going over quite often, and they don't distract me. Yes, I was like, is a car crashing into our apartment complex right now, or is that an airplane that's really low? I legit was scared for my life for a second, so I got a little distracted.
Oh, flight 972 out of New Orleans is late. I don't know.
It's not that bad, and that was way too deep of a joke.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right. Killer review of Truman Show. Had fun with that one. Again, a great follow-up to whatchamacallit. To Gilbert Grape. I can't even remember the name of it. It was that boring.
Yeah.
Not sure what we are going to do next week, but definitely stay tuned. Episode 48. We're pushing 50 already. Mm-hmm. Which is just super cool.
It is.
So thanks, of course, for sticking with us through 47 episodes. I am looking forward to seeing what we do next week. The list, though, is starting to dwindle.
It is.
So we'll have to see what we do and where we go. Although, at the same time, every time we see like an actor or somebody that we get talking about, I'll be like, oh, have you seen all of his movies? So
and then we get a few more added to the list.
That'll throw a couple of more on there. I really want to do Neverending Story now that we were just talking about that. That's a possibility.
Braveheart's still a possibility.
Braveheart's coming up for sure.
Yeah.
That's one of them. We got to do Batman Returns, I know.
Yeah.
There is a decent handful left on the list. It's not as short as I made it out to be. But we still will definitely take any suggestions, anything you want us to watch. Brian suggested a couple of things, one being Labyrinth that Naomi said she saw, but you were real little.
I was really young, but I did see it. That is definitely one that I think deserves a Under a Rock review, just because I don't remember anything from the movie. And it'll probably be really creepy to watch it, because I'll be like, oh my gosh, why do I remember that? You know?
How about Willow, since we're talking of sort of fantasy style stuff?
I don't know that.
Never saw Willow either. I don't know how beloved Willow was, or if it was just a small group of friends that I knew growing up. So that's a possibility as well. Anyway, always taking suggestions. You can put them anywhere you can find a place to comment on all of our stuff. Yeah. You can put them on the questions on Spotify if you want. Even if that's not the question we asked, find a post on Facebook and be like,
hey, watch this movie.
Need to watch it.
Yeah.
Get after it. So that, and of course your homework, best summer vacation memories. Definitely looking forward to that.
Story time. All right. You ready for your thought of the day?
Thought of the day, thought of the day. It's your thought of the day, thought of the day.
It's a really stupid one.
All right.
You can't juggle in space.
That's it?
That's it.
I would argue that you can.
You can't.
I could juggle like a juggling machine in space. Just start moving them around.
It's not juggling. No. You're not juggling anymore. You can't juggle in space. All right. You gonna leave us with a laugh?
I've always wanted to go to space, but never more than now. Because I have to know.
To juggle?
I have to know. I'm going to write a letter to astronaut Mark Kelly. He spent a year in space. Surely he tried to juggle.
You can't juggle.
I'm going to be so fixated on that for so long now.
Leave us with a laugh.
All right. Damn.
Tired of you and your juggling antics.
To the person who stole my glasses, I will find you. I have contacts.
That's so stupid.
Two goldfish in a tank. One goldfish says to the other, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea how to drive this thing.
That's a good one. I do like that one.
That's a golden oldie
stupid.
as well.
I like it though.
And finally...
Oh, no, you got to end on the goldfish.
No. Oh. I'm working on a new song about a tortilla. About a tortilla. It's actually more of a rap.
That's so dumb. You should have left off on the goldfish and the tank.
I have no idea how to drive this thing.
I legit imagined a goldfish with a army helmet on,
Oh my god, of course you did.
Yeah.
Like the goldfish from the Goldfish Crackers.
Yeah.
With the army helmet on.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like they've done that in a commercial somewhere in the past?
They probably have.
Thank you to Brian for the book, The 100 Greatest Dad Jokes of All Time, assembled by Victor Jr. Brian keeps us in dad jokes. He's taken it upon himself to do so.
That's right.
When we run out, though, like I said last week, I'll go back to the internet, or maybe I'll pony up the dough and get my own book.
I think you should pony up the dough and get your own book.
But still want to shout out to Brian for all the help. Really appreciate it. Love the dad jokes and all of that. Thanks for sticking around for 47 episodes of our nonsense and distractions.
More next week.
More next week. Yeah, absolutely. Homework again. Best summer vacation memory. Find that on the Facebook page. Look at Naomi on Air as where you can find every other thing. We're all over the place. Google Play, Apple Store, Spotify. I don't know. You can probably find
everywhere.
Us on Yahoo and at your local library as well.
Yeah.
Tell your friends.
And your family.
And your family. And anybody else you see on the
Strangers.
street. Start hollering it out car windows when you're driving down the road.
Hey, listen to this show.
Hey, 2 goldfish are in a tank. Oh, my goodness. Okay, episode 48 next week. Thank you again for sticking with us for all of this nonsense. Have some fun this week and be excellent to each other.
Love you. Bye.